Hello and welcome back to another Small Biz Artist. This is coming out a little late. I've just been busy and I haven't had time to actually sit down and record the audio because I've been doing other things like working on my business. So it's been a minute. I guess it's been a minute, like a week, a little over a week, but things have been going really well. Wrapping up the end of the month and I'm getting the last of the things I need to get done this month done this week. Thankfully they weren't super, what do you call it? Super like intense or anything like that. Just like a lot of little things. Looking at my planner as I'm talking to make sure. But overall, things are going really well. I'm actually keeping up with what I wanted to do. Actually, let me check something off while I'm looking at it. So yeah, so today I want to talk about business resilience. And with the way everything's been going on in the world, I won't get into details, we all know. Just talking about, is your business like set up to be able to weather a storm? And I will say it's not a matter of storm happening, it's a matter of when the storm will happen. There will always be seasons and moments in life, but in your life, in the life of the business, all this stuff, where there will be a time of uncertainty, a time of chaos, time of nothing but unknowns, supply chain issues. There will always be something like that. And if you don't believe that, look at 5 years ago. Unexpected, it happened, whatever your thoughts are on it. Nobody could have foreseen that. And then before that, we've had things, it's just, it's not a matter of if, it's always a matter of when. And I think a lot of people don't really think about their business and, oh, what kind of problems will I run into? Like, nobody really considers their business to have a problem or that they'll run into a problem until they do. And then, obviously it's not fun. It's stressful. You don't know what's going to happen. And that's kind of why I wanted to bring this up, like, are you able to weather the storm, basically? Like, is your ship tight? If a leak happens, can you go take care of it right away? Or do you at least have a system set up that you can take care of it when you're able to, because maybe the leak is just very small, very slow, it needs to be addressed, but you're able to take your time with it, versus a major leak where if you don't tackle it right away, it just ruins everything, right? So it's been something that's like on my mind ever since a couple of years, 5 years ago when the big thing happened. I kind of changed. I didn't change, but I focused a little bit more on my other YouTube channel, and that grew because I had more time to record stuff. It wasn't like I wasn't as tired anymore because I was working from home, things like that. And then I eventually did more on. I went back to doing events when I could. But I did change how I sourced my products and how I wanted to make my products. And, it's been a bumpy couple of years, like, I guess past 2 years in terms of that. And I'm finally back into making things again. And I love ordering specialized products. It's really fun to me. I like designing them. I like to make them. I love hyping them up and doing the order process and getting them in. And it's something I don't know how to describe. It's just really awesome, right? But I'm also aware that those types of products that have to be special ordered cannot be my primary product I sell, because that is a disaster waiting to happen. I can't rely on something that, if anything were to happen in the world, that it would not be available for me to purchase. So a lot of things I started doing was just kind of like, what can I do locally? What can I do in-house? What can I do myself? And I think that's kind of when I kind of realized I probably should go back to doing what I originally wanted to do, which was stories and my comics and stuff. So there was a little bit of a pivot to that, and it's been Another wild ride. Now, I work very hard to get my things sourced as locally as possible. One, for control. It is much easier for me to jump in the car and go down the road and talk to someone about issues. What can we do to improve this? What do I need to do if I did something wrong? Stuff like that. It's much easier communication wise and for quicker turnaround times when issues arise. And then, that's that. And I would rather pay a little a higher price for that than not. When the second best thing is to source locally but not communicate in person. You can only do it online, emails, customer service, yada yada yada. And then expand from there, right? And then I think a lot of art businesses especially tend to focus more on just getting either the supplies or the product more than, is this something long term that I can keep doing if something were to happen? Because again, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. This isn't anything new. There is no such thing as a business that will never encounter a problem. There's just not. And sometimes maybe it's just your source just closes. Maybe the person who started that business you're ordering whatever from decided, I want to retire, but I don't want to sell the business to anybody because there's no one to sell it to. I'm just going to close the doors. Those are real possibilities. And that's why what I'm especially doing now is thinking, what can I do to make sure that long term I can continue doing this? I can continue making sure whatever it is I'm getting for the business is the quality that I'm happy with at a price that I'm willing to pay. And if something were to happen, I at least either have backups that are equal to or better than that quality around the same price range. And it's been interesting to say the least. There are actually some products I kind of don't want to order anymore, mainly buttons, because most of those I will order from other artists who graciously offer up their button machine and say, I'll print and make these buttons for you. Obviously I pay for the labor and everything. They're priced very fair, where I don't feel like I'm ripping them off. But it's also something where it's something that's very easy for a small creator to get overwhelmed with. So I decided maybe I don't want to do buttons in the future, or at least I want to pause on that, because a lot of creators themselves are kind of feeling overwhelmed with their own orders. Some have had such an influx that it's overwhelming. As an independent artist or independent business, and it's just you, yeah, it can get overwhelming really fast when you have tons of custom orders coming in for something like buttons. It's a lot of manual labor, and it's just a lot, right? So knowing that, I have to be mindful of, is this something that I can do long term, or would I have to keep hopping from creator to creator to get those made? And I think that's something I'm comfortable with getting rid of. Now, there are larger companies that can do it for me, but they have a very large minimum order quantity, a very large number. And I don't want to be ordering like 50 of a button design if I don't know if it's going to sell. I did that once, I'm never doing it again. So I need to just kind of say, you know what, for now, I'm not going to do buttons, even though they're fun, even though I like to do them. They're not going to be my main focus right now. So I'm already getting a plan in order to slowly get rid of them. It's freebies, things like that. Like if you order, let's say, $10 worth of merchandise, you get a free button, right? And that's just one way I can get rid of that inventory and then make room for product that I know I can do long term. And in this case, I think I have it on here maybe. No, I didn't put it on there. I put it on the next week's video. But I did talk about it, like my Etsy listing, the air planters. Those are done and photographed, everything. I just have to upload or make the listing live. And I try to do one per day when they're ready. I do not do one listing per day every day for months. That's not possible for me. But those are done. And those are something I can do in-house. I design them myself in 3D. I get the 3D printer set up. I get the files together. I do some testing with like the filament, the print settings, and the design, all that good stuff. That's something that I have full control over, and I enjoy doing that, and it's fun. So I just need to make sure that I have a set number of designs like that I'm willing to do, I'm happy with, and I can produce in-house. And that way, when things go crazy, I am less likely to have an issue. And the reason I say less likely is because there are manufacturers in the US who make the filament. So I have at least a source that's local-ish, you know, to get that made. Now, the price may be a little more than what I'm paying, but it's something that I can still obtain. And I know through my research that the quality is there. People are very happy with it. So as I'm adjusting for how things are going, I can modify my prices a little bit to cover that increase in cost. And for me personally, I try to have a reasonable profit margin. I try not to exceed a certain percentage. That's just how I run my business, because I want to make sure I'm still affordable to the average person, and not go crazy with pricing, and be fair with what you're getting to. Like my air planters, like they're like $10, primarily because of the amount of work it goes into to designing them and printing them. But I'm also not like charging. I've seen some that were not good quality and it's like triple the price. I'm like, I just think that's wrong. But anyway, so that's kind of like my chat for today is just like business resiliency and things to think about, to make sure your business can last long term, you know, for the things that happen in the world that we have no control over. Because again, it's a matter of when, not if. All right, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.